Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Prince Albert Police recently completed a month-long drug trafficking investigation resulting in multiple arrests. Police arrested 10 people, seizing 2 kilograms of cocaine, 2 kilograms of methamphetamine, 2 handguns, an air pistol, and more than $70,000 in cash. Search warrants were obtained for 3 residences in southwest Prince Albert. 6 people face drug trafficking charges, including 3 youth under 18.
It is certainly troubling when we hear that youth are involved in that, into that capacity. Speculating in terms of why they're involved, I think that's a broader question, whether it's, the family dynamics, social dynamic, things of that nature.
The investigation was carried out by the crime reduction team with assistance from other units in the Prince Albert Police Service, the Saskatchewan Trafficking Response Team, and the RCMP. The family of a Prince Albert man is asking for help in solving his homicide from 4 years ago. On May 28, 2022, Lawrence Lavalley died after being shot. Police were called to the 800 block of 11th Avenue East, but found Lavalley injured about a block away in the 1000 block of 7th Street East. He was taken to hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. Police are asking anyone who saw anything suspicious in that area between 5:15 and 5:45 a.m. May 28, 2022 to come forward. His family says Lawrence Lavalley was a husband, a father, a brother and son, and they will not stop asking for help until his homicide is solved.
Our family continues to carry the pain of his loss every day. We continue to struggle with the silence, the unanswered questions, and the feeling that justice has not been served. And today, we are asking for the public for help.
A man has been charged after a house fire left one person seriously injured. It happened in Cumberland House. Local firefighters, paramedics, and police were called to a home in the community Tuesday night just after 10:30. The investigation found 5 adults were in the house at the time of the fire. 4 of them were assessed at the scene by paramedics. The 5th adult was taken to hospital. The home was destroyed, and a 36-year-old man from Cumberland House is facing 4 counts of attempted murder and 4 counts of arson with disregard for human life. He was scheduled to be in court earlier today. A man has claimed responsibility for a hit and run between a vehicle and a pedestrian yesterday. Prince Albert police were called to a business on 2nd Avenue West for a collision between a vehicle and a pedestrian. Police say a 40-year-old female was taken to hospital with a serious but non-life-threatening injury. Initial information was that the driver failed to remain at the scene. While police were searching for the suspect, a 31-year-old man came into police headquarters assuming responsibility. His charges include aggravated assault and dangerous driving causing bodily harm. He was scheduled to appear in court today. RCMP are looking for a person after 2 children in Humboldt said a gun was pointed at them. The incident was reported to police last Saturday evening at about 7:30. The children, who are under the age of 10, said a person in a truck approached them on 8th Avenue in Humboldt. They said he then pointed a gun at them and threatened them. They were able to run away and were not hurt. The truck he was driving is described as being an older model white Chevrolet. Anyone who knows anything about this incident or saw anything suspicious the evening of May 23rd is asked to contact Humboldt RCMP. Saskatoon's first Cree school is celebrating a major milestone. Wacotowin School, formerly Confederation Park School, hosted a powwow to mark its 50th anniversary and 20 years of its Cree language and culture program. Dancers, drum groups, and students from across the city took part in the celebration, embracing the school's name, Wacotowin, a Cree word meaning kinship.
There was a time in our history where you wouldn't be allowed to have a powwow at a school, and so this is very exciting.
The principal says today's celebration is a powerful reminder of how far Indigenous language and culture have come in the classroom. Saskatoon is about to have its busiest construction season ever. The city says a number of things are colliding this year, with a generational project like Link Construction shutting down College Drive and a new biosolids project in the North End replacing underground pipelines. There's also a number of water main and road rehabilitation projects that were already on the books. Now a lingering winter and spring of freeze-thaw cycles that introduced thousands of new potholes and delayed construction season by 2 weeks. It has all of these projects now happening at once.
We saw McCormick Road, which is one of the major corridors in and out of several neighborhoods. We're seeing Circle Drive South with some resurfacing work, College Drive, Wanuskewin. So I think we're seeing some of the more major corridors impacted earlier in the construction season, maybe more concentrated than we've seen in some of the past years.
To help with traffic at peak times, some work along major roads like Circle Drive is happening between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., which has led to some noise complaints to the city as well. Federal officials say this year's wildfire season got off to a slower start than 2025, but the risk remains high, with most of Saskatchewan now under high to extreme fire danger. The federal emergency management minister says hot, dry conditions are raising the risk of wildfires, with Environment Canada forecasting above normal temperatures across much of the country, including Saskatchewan, over the next 3 months. The minister says the federal government has leased 10 new aircraft to help support wildfire response efforts. She says the wildfire situation can change quickly and is urging communities across the country to be prepared.
I encourage all Canadians to go to getprepared.ca to learn how to protect yourself and your family, learn how to make an emergency plan and an emergency kit.
As of 1:30 this afternoon, there were 5 active wildfires in Saskatchewan, 2 of those not contained. Crazy to think just 2 weeks ago we were talking about snow, and now we're already right into the middle of getting ready for wildfires, or preparing for them.
Preparing for those wildfires, and goodness knows some of that moisture that we did get has certainly helped to sort and hold back some of the issues that we dealt with last year when things were so dry. But a hot day yesterday, a record-breaking day in some communities across the province, John, and we won't be surprised if there are some more records set today, because it's a hot one. We continue to see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms because of the daytime heating with regard to all that moisture we were talking about that's still helping to create that circumstance. But all in all, that ridge is still in place. We're still dealing with hot temperatures, and it doesn't look like that'll start to change until the weekend. We'll talk more about those details later on.
Around 300 signals and communications workers at CPKC say they're walking off the job Sunday unless a new deal is reached. The IBEW union says concerns include wages, work-life balance, and retention issues. A spokesperson for CPKC says if there's a strike, operations will continue. The company says it's made fair and balanced offers to the union. Negotiations are likely to last through the weekend. There's a programming note for tomorrow. CTV News at 5 is preempted for Team Canada's roster reveal ahead of this year's World Cup. The roster reveal begins at 5 p.m. Saskatchewan time and can be seen across the CTV and TSN networks. CTV is your home for the World Cup this summer. Your local news airs as normal at 6. After the break, a deeper dive into the fishing pond. Jasmine Pelche heads to the Steep Creek Trout Pond for the Fish in Schools program.
I'm with outdoor ed teacher Jordan Holman at Steep Creek to talk about the Fish in Schools program following their fish release. How would you give like a really quick rundown on what the Fish in Schools program is?
Yeah, of course. Fish in Schools is a program done across the province of Saskatchewan where students in any school from elementary up to high school will take 100 fish eggs from the fish hatchery in Fort Capel, and we will have them delivered around the province in January, raise them up till they're fingerlings, and then finally accumulating in a release at a trout pond near them.
How does a school get involved in that program?
So it's a partnership between the Provincial Wildlife Federation and your local chapter. So the Prince Albert Wildlife Federation is an excellent partner to us, and we're very thankful for that. We've chosen Steep Creek, a small trout pond east of Prince Albert, and it's an excellent little oasis for the kids to explore and connect with their local fishery.
How was that decision made?
Well, proximity and geography is a main key factor, but also this is an active trout pond that people rely on for just sport and activities with going with their hobby.
Is the fish species then decided by where the school is located, or how does that work?
So all the schools doing the program will have the same fish species, and they'll all be rainbow trout, and that's typically because they're a hardier fish, so it gives us a little more margin of error for the kids learning, and it also helps the stocked programs in other trout ponds.
How does this benefit students?
I could go on about that. I know you don't have enough time in a day to hear me ramble on, but I just believe the experience piece for kids, being able to connect a concept to the land, to what's actually happening, is so important. The fish, even in the classroom, are so regulating. I don't know if you ever had like a class pet or a fish in your classroom, but it calms kids down, and it creates that attachment to something other than a person sometimes, right? So there's so many different levels to connecting kids to land and specimens and animals and fish alike, right? So it's just such a rich, deep experience for the kids that they wouldn't get out of answering a worksheet on, right?
Do the kids get encouraged to come back and fish for the fish that they raised, or?
Yeah, for sure. If they would like to come back with their friends and throw a line at their local trout pond, they're more than welcome to, and some do, right? Some will bring a couple friends out later on after high school and fish, right? So it's a great lifelong, I guess, connection too.
How many fish got released right here at this latest release at Steep Creek?
So we had, this is my best year yet, with students doing this. We had 96 fish released out of 100 eggs that were delivered to us. So that's pretty amazing.
Good odds. Yeah. Well,
for sure.
Thank you for speaking with me.
Okay, thanks for coming out.
We'll be right back with Jeff's weather forecast after this. And BC's top doctor wants you to pay more for alcohol. So, Jeff, you were just saying that, this warm weather is nice, but not when you're trying to go to sleep late at night.
Well, it's, look, if you don't have air conditioning and you're sort of left up to and maybe you don't have a fan, it's like, and I'm saying that was the sort of situation for me. It's like, yeah, you don't get the best sleep you should. So if you can find ways to keep cool to get a better night's sleep, good for you. We've got ourselves some hot conditions that are going to stick around, John, as we roll into the next couple of days. So it's not going to break down. Now, we do have that high pressure ridge still in place, starting to break down a little bit, starting to move to the east as well, but not as much active weather as we saw last couple of days coming out of the Idaho Panhandle into parts of British Columbia and Alberta. But we'll have to keep our eyes on all of this because the heat warnings are still in effect. It's still very, very hot across the Prairie provinces. So here's the computer modeling as we roll into Friday. And as you can see, those pressure lines, they're not way far apart, but certainly in many parts of the province, they aren't as close together as they were. But you can certainly see down the southwest, yes, they're still fairly close together as you roll into tomorrow afternoon. But in terms of active weather, it still tends to be, actively being pushed upwards onto the Alberta, British Columbia border and then into the Northwest Territory. So not really impacting Saskatchewan in a big organized fashion. A fairly consistent situation with regard to the temperatures overnight and sky conditions. Partly cloudy or clearing skies in the overnight. 18 degrees for Spiritwood, 19 for the Battlefords, 19 as well in Candle Lake, 20 in Birch Hills, 19 in Rostern, and 20 degrees in Nipawin and Melfort. Taking a quick look at Friday, well, temperatures are staying well into the 30s. 31 degrees in Spiritwood and North Battleford and the Battlefords region. 33 in Candle Lake and Birch Hills and Rostern. 34 for Nipawin. Still windy in the Nipawin area. Wind gusts up around 50 or 60 kilometers an hour. And Melfort, 32 degrees tomorrow. So still a very hot day in many parts of the province. So a closer look at what's going on in Prince Albert in the next 24 hours. 19 degrees with clearing skies. Winds out of the south 20. And then it will become lighter in terms of its wind speed. Then as we take a look at tomorrow, warms up again. 33 big degrees, mainly cloudy skies and the winds pick up as well. Not quite as strong as those winds have been in the last few days, but winds out of the southeast, 20 gusting to 40, so still, breezy with a capital B. There we go with our 7-day forecast. Got ourselves 28 degrees on Saturday, Sunday 28 as well, and then things start to change a little bit. Come Monday, we're looking at 27 degrees with a chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. 22 on Tuesday. That's still above seasonal, but then as we roll into Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures basically around 18 degrees, so below seasonal temperatures, but not by a lot. And Wednesday comes with a chance of some showers. So that's how things are sort of getting a little unsettled as we roll into next week.
Well, a perfect time of the year to maybe get the baseball glove out and get warmed up. And for sure, the next story, these people have had them out a little longer, Jeff. The Saskatoon Berries, they're getting ready to play ball as another season begins in the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Berries had a record-setting year last season with 46 wins and 9 losses in the regular season, beating the previously held WCBL record by 2 games. But in the East Division final, the Berries fell to the Regina Red Sox in the deciding Game 3. Despite the loss, head coach Joe Carnahan was named Coach of the Year. He signed a 3-year extension before the start of this season. The Berries start tonight at 7 in Weyburn against the Beavers. Home opener is Saturday at 4 in Saskatoon.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
British Columbia's top doctor wants to raise the price of raising a glass by tying costs to the amount of alcohol in a drink. It's all part of an effort to make a clearer connection for consumers about the link between alcohol and cancer. Andrew Johnson has the details.
Victoria's Fizz non-alcoholic bottle shop is a business built around making the move away from booze.
There is more and more and more demand for alternatives to alcohol.
That shift, driven by young people, is mentioned in a new report from BC's top doctor. But Bonnie Henry says British Columbians are still drinking too much and more than the Canadian average.
Drinking less alcohol is better for our overall health, and that's the central message of this report.
The report makes several recommendations, including a new awareness campaign to make sure more people know alcohol causes cancer and warning labels similar to cigarettes. The report found the price of booze, adjusted for inflation, has gone down in BC over the past 2 decades, and that when the price goes up, people drink less. The current model in BC bases minimum prices by volume, so a can of beer that's 7% alcohol isn't required to be any more expensive than a 4% beer. Stronger booze is a better value, but maybe not for long. The report proposes changing the model to make stronger drinks more expensive, and a recommendation the province come up with its new strategy without what it calls industry influence, which got the attention of Wine Growers BC.
We think we have some really valuable perspective to share, and I think the best policies are born from collaboration. So to say industry shouldn't be at the table is just the wrong approach.
It's now up to the province to act on the recommendations.
Pour that in there.
As Canadians make their own choice whether to add booze to their next cocktail. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority met in Yorkton today to sign off on a budget for 2026-27. The budget includes $5.5 billion in operating expenses, which is a 5.05% increase over the last budget. For capital projects, the SHA approved more than $596 million supporting equipment facility improvements. The SHA says the investments ensure healthcare workers have the capacity and the resources they need to deliver high-quality care across the province. The focus of this year's budget is expanding local care, including capacity building, improving access to surgery, and enhancing emergency response.
What we're very excited about is the expansion of primary care, integrated team-based care to reach our goal where every Saskatchewan person will have access to a primary care team by 2028.
The next public meeting will be held in September. The Canadian Red Cross wants residents to be prepared for potential emergency situations. In addition to having an evacuation plan, separation plan, and a safety contact, another important tool is an emergency kit.
You know, it should have some basics: water, non-perishable food items, things like a radio and maybe a can opener if you have canned food.
Okay.
Important documents for your family. The big thing we say is to tailor it to your family. So if you have pets, maybe pet medication.
The Red Cross recommends a 72-hour supply of necessities for urban dwellers, and for people in more remote locations, 7 to 10 days worth of goods. Plans and templates can be found in 10 different languages on the Red Cross website, redcross.ca/ready.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
All right, Jeff, time to think about what you'd put in your emergency kit if you were doing a cross-ocean tour. A 31-year-old woman is making her way across the ocean, hoping to become the first American woman to row solo from California to Hawaii.
Wow.
It has been a hard day. I have not figured out how you sleep and do this. I think collectively, over the last 5 days, I have gotten maybe 7 hours of sleep total. I am so tired.
That's Kelsey Fendler probably redeciding or rethinking her decision. She's been at sea in the Pacific since May 21st. She's been sharing her progress on social media, even showing off her blistered hands on day 2. Once complete, her trip will cover more than 3,800 kilometers, and she's looking to break a world record of doing it. That's pretty raw, I think your hands would get after, I think, just day
I can't imagine, you know, it's like, and this is rowing. It's not like, hey, I've got some sails to help me out here. You got nothing going on there.
And I don't know if you have like a GPS, but if you go to sleep and then 4 hours later you find yourself, 4 or 5 miles back, you just wasted all that.
Exactly. Good questions.
Well, the things we do.